Hi everybody, here with Monday Masters, Mark Williams, and my guest today is Miguel Molinares. Looking forward to talking a lot about what's happening in the condo market. Stay tuned. Miguel, thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure. Very nice seeing you again, man.
Likewise. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today is what's happening in the condo market currently right now, and what do you see happening in that market in 2020? Okay. You know, with the recent change in FHA spot loan approvals being something that can possibly be done for a lot of the FHA condos that are not currently approved, but other condos that we could possibly be FHA approved, right? And as far as financing is concerned. So I wanted to get your feedback on what's happening in the market related to condos and what you're seeing changing in 2020.
What I'm seeing right now in the condos, it's there's a lot of limitations now for all the condos that we can work with in these programs, the county programs. That you have, there's not many condos approved, and you have to go to certain condos in certain areas where the buyer doesn't want to buy because they work, for example, at Kendall, and they have condos approved, Hialeah or vice versa. So it's really hard for us as a realtor to try to change their cassette to the buyer so they can buy in certain condos in certain areas where they don't want to live. You know, they want to live close to home, close to where they work, or close to the kids at school, and etc.
So one of the things that, of course, that we've seen when working with a lot of first-time home buyers is them not necessarily understanding how the financing is working for condos. So there's what we call full review of the condo association instead of looking at a limited review. So you have the full review versus the limited review. With the limited review, you are having individuals that are putting down hopefully 25% or more compared to the full review where they're putting down maybe 5 to 10%. Now, the differences between the two is depending on how the lender, such as us, are looking at certain things related to the financing on that condo. Does that condo have reserves set aside to be able to cover any issues that may come up with that condo association? And for a lot of the first-time home buyers that we're coming across, unfortunately, they don't have a 25% to go a limited review where we may not be concerned with all of the other issues related to a condo. So what are you seeing and how do you inform some of your buyers as it relates to a limited review versus a full review?
What was the question again? How did I explain it to them?
Right. How do you deal with individual first-time home buyers that may look at a full review versus a limited review and the actual monies that they have to make that transaction work?
We got to inform the buyer how the reserve work, what the reserves are for, because a lot of the times they don't understand why I can purchase at this complex that it has the full review and the reserves against the other complex where I want to buy and I can't. So we got to explain that first. And then, in our office, in the Molinares Group brokerage, what we do, we partnered up with you guys, and that's been a big help. Well, we started making lists of the condos they have reserved, and that's what we offer first. You know, thanks to you, you have sent us, limited amountless list of condominiums and also all the ones that we find. And then we start offering that they already have reserves. And in a way, it has worked and minimized the search all over the place and start searching each condo and see which one works and which one doesn't.
So for a lot of the first-time home buyers that we work with, we just want to make sure that they understand if you are looking to purchase a condo that you are filling out a condo questionnaire. Because on the condo questionnaire, you're really going to have a lot of financial information related to that condo and what's really happening with that condo. So you're going to have questions such as the amount of reserves that condo has. You're going to have questions related to the occupancy, the renters versus actual owners, that type of concentration. And then also you're going to have information on whether or not that particular homeowners association has any litigation involved. So those are some of the questions that are going to be on that condo questionnaire. But to be a better informed buyer when you're talking about condos, you definitely want to have a condo questionnaire filled out and be looking at some of those items that we've mentioned as well.
That is correct.
So what is your plan for 2020? What do you see the market changing, how the market is changing in 2020? What's some of the things that you're putting on your agenda for 2020?
The market's been pretty steady. We're positive in our office. The market is trending up with all the new construction that it's going on. We're focusing a lot in new construction as well, and hopefully we're getting together with the county and trying to suggest to them to increase the purchase price. Right now we have it at 205.
Correct.
And we're hoping and we're pretty positive about the county raising that price to a higher price and go current with the market. Because right now with that limit of 205, it's also a limitation for the buyers. Yeah. They can qualify for more, but they cannot purchase. And hopefully, we can get it through the county, and the county can raise the price. So that's our projection for 2020.
Excellent.
And keep trending, going up with the market, and farming in different areas. And just stay tuned with the market.
Right. Fantastic. So, to your point, the program that we've worked with together
Correct.
Is the Public Housing and Community Development Program.
That's correct.
And they had that cap of a sales price of $205,000. And we know in this market when the
Right.
average sales price on a single family home is $285,000 or so
Correct.
or higher, that's a challenge
It
for a
is
lot
a
of
challenge.
first-time home buyers
Correct.
in finding inventory.
Yes.
So to your point, we are trying our best to work with the commissioners here locally to see
Correct.
about increasing that sales price so that the inventory can also increase for a lot of the buyers that we're working with as well. And that has been a little bit of a challenge, capping that particular program at a 205 sales price.
That is
so
correct.
thank you for mentioning that as well. So those are some of the challenges that I know with real estate agents
Right.
are having a difficult time finding price points for those buyers in that market. And we're working to work with the program that offers up to $70,000
Correct.
in assistance for first-time home buyers to be able to reduce the amount borrowed from us as a first mortgage lender, or even help them with their down payment and closing costs.
That is correct.
Great. And last question is, what's one of your success stories in working with a first-time home buyer?
First-time home buyers, the success story that we have in our office, because we all, my brother Alvaro, we started working with one member of the family.
Right.
Then it was the other member. Then I started with another member, and then my other brother started with another member.
Making a family affair, right?
So it was a family affair of, it was about, what was it, like about 10, 20, no, it was like about 10 to 12 buyers.
Okay.
Like the cousin, the brother, the sister, the mom, and the dad, the grandparents purchased. All of them purchased, with the county program, with the $70,000 down payment assistance program, and it was phenomenal. And they still refer us people up to today.
That's great.
And that's how it started 4 years ago, and we're still attending members of that family.
Right.
Which they just arrive. They have a cousin. They move from out of state to here. And that's one of our stories that it's phenomenal in our office, because
That's great.
we all worked on
And
it.
they received about up to $70,000
They received the $70,000 and the Medid program as well.
as well.
Yeah, we try to combine it, and it was really good. It was really good.
That's great. It's
One of the members, it was the one that we did here. It was the Valdez family.
Excellent.
Yes,
so they were
we
part of
did
that
with
family.
you, of course.
That's I remember that.
Yeah.
So, that's the other great thing of why we want to kind of share as many of these programs as possible. When you have stories like that,
Right.
where families are either coming together or they're buying individually to get themselves into this market of being able to purchase, that is really key, because we know, once they do purchase, it's a wealth building asset for them, as long as they maintain that as well. So we definitely welcome and thank you for coming on to kind of share some of that information, and looking forward to having you on.